Fryer pops stock car up in the air. And the Buick Regal gets scorched. Silver bullet goes off Lamelt just like everybody's been doing. Ooh, a savage hit from Whipped Creamer, and look at this. Welcome to the second half of the second main event. Things have become rather heated in Heat 2 of the main event. The People's Front of Camino have been eliminated from the match. A lot of teams down to 1 or 2 cars each. And then, of course, you've got last season's second place team Jet Streak. Only lost 1 so far. They are in it to win it. The Klingons that showed up last episode had a little trouble figuring out exactly how the joust worked, and now they are being worked on by Troy and Jordy. And it looks like Cookie is regaling the other Klingons with tales of glory.
I passed out in the gutter.
Let's jump into the action on the track. Round 3, starting us off, it's going to be Fusion Buster for Jet Streak, sponsored by Emo Dingo. The randomized running order is up. Teams with more than 1 car left get to decide which one they want to send down win. We go until there's only 3 teams left in the match. The one, the only, Lamelt for Emerald Undercurrent, sponsored by Chemical Knight. No doubt the Undercurrent want to get Lamelt out early, sliding under Fusion Buster there. Fusion Buster handling it like a champ. And now Lamelt's fin is in place, ready to cause some damage. Cloak and Dagger's got a pretty low front though, sponsored by Sicken. Cloak and Dagger hooks into the fin of Lamelt, pushes Lamelt curbside, and then tips over sideways. That could definitely end up being a bad thing for Glow to Hell. They need that car to stay alive. 82 Monte Carlo for the cars, sponsored by Jedi. Let's see what Jesse's been cooking up. And a nice hit there. 2 cars knocked off the track. Unfortunately, neither of them eliminated, and Cloak and Dagger makes a nice recovery. Last car in the match for They See Me Rollin' Speedbox, sponsored by the Miskatonic Automotive Club. Seems like somehow all the cars Miskatonic sponsored have made it into this match. Lamelt righting itself and getting off that curb. No damage on that hit. Sunrunners just have Torque Twister left, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Torque Twister slams into Speedbox and just gets right off the track, and that is a great way to keep Sunrunners in the match. And the last car for Silver Slivers, 57 Chevy, sponsored by Ellis Wertenberger. The Monte Carlo is launched off of Lamelt, gets on top of Evil Weevil and turns right over, upside down, a little bobbling there. Can't quite make that recovery. Man, it was close. And that is a rough loss for the cars. If you've just got 1 car left, this is the one to have. Pink Cadillac, sponsored by Wolf of Fiber Art. Savage hit by the Caddy, and look at the balance on that 57 Chevy. Silver Slivers literally hanging in there, perched on top of Evil Weevil. Speedbox in the safety spot, good place to be. That is not a good place to be though for that Chevy. Ultra Hawks also down to just the 67 Oldsmobile, sponsored by Chome. The line remains firm as the Oldsmobile slides into Pink Caddy. Oldsmobile not going up on top of Lamelt. We've seen these 2 face off before, and the Pink Caddy does not mount Lamelt in any situation. Cloud Cutter, sponsored by Judy Collins. A good undercut right there, and the Oldsmobile flips on top of the Caddy, bounces over, and makes a great landing, saving the Ultra Hawks from elimination. Reverb for the Undercurrent, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Reverb pushes Cloud Cutter. Cloud Cutter can't get under that Caddy. That Caddy is just protected on both sides. The 57 Chevy is gonna go. Will it land upright? When it does. Wouldn't be surprised if Boulevard Bruiser knocks it off that perch. Sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Bruiser hits the line, but this Chevy does not tip over yet. Evil Weevil kind of getting off the track here because of Lamelt, and that might save that Chevy. Got a big line forming, and that Chevy is so close right now. Ferrari 308, last car for the cars, sponsored by Chemical Knight. The Ferrari slaps the Bruiser up into the air. The Bruiser flips over and lands it. Good landing right there. The 308 slides under Reverb and puts it in a pretty dicey position, but no eliminations on that hit. Greased Lightning, this thing's an undercutter. Look out below. Sponsored by Judy Collins. Greased Lightning takes down Reverb, knocks it straight down the line. Reverb tumbles and topples and can't make any sort of recovery. Cloud Cutter, though, hanging on there, not going over. And oh, the 308 has been flipped over. Could this be it for the cars? Final car of the round, Jet Threat 3, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. and the 308 makes a recovery and saves the cars from elimination. Cloud Cutter does a nice job of not being eliminated by his own teammate, and it looks like the 57 Chevy is going to make it to the next round. Only 2 eliminations this round compared to 18 in the previous round. Taking a look at the aftermath, Emerald Undercurrent took a hit and lost reverb. And the cars lost to Monte Carlo. No teams eliminated in this round. Jetstreak still at 4. And now it's round 4. Of course, Jetstreak going to start us off with Fusion Busta. Good starter car. Jetstreak and Glow to Hell, the only teams with more than 1 car in this match. Glow to Hell starting off with Boulevard Bruiser. Bruiser slips under Fusion Busta, and that is a hit that would have taken down a lot of cars, but Fusion Busta makes a nice dancing recovery on the front fin of the car. Wow, that was cool. 57 Chevy for the Slivers. Chevy hits Boulevard Bruiser, but Bruiser stays level and tries to stay alive. Oldsmobile for the Hawks. 56 gram hit, paint is flying everywhere. Boulevard Bruiser manages to stay level and keep it going. 57 Chevy does not. Tries to flip over at the last second, but the crates are there. That might be it for the Slivers, folks. Pink Cadillac. The Caddy just bruises that Oldsmobile, pushes it into Evil Weevil, and it just flips over. Doesn't even go anywhere, just turns upside down. Not necessarily out of it yet, but that's not good. Speedbox. Speedbox punches the Caddy, and wow, the Oldsmobile does not help itself at all right there. Just settles in completely upside down. Torque Twister. Pretty light car, not much going on there, although it does manage to get underneath Speedbox. This could be bad for Speedbox. 308's got a chance to take Speedbox down right here. Oh, did not expect that. Torque Twister is the one who gets taken down, flipped upside down as Speedbox makes a spinning recovery. Wow, look at that great precision landing over there by Fusion Busta. Torque Twister. This could be it for the Sunrunners. Lamelt taken to the track. Pretty solid hit there by Lamelt trying to take down that Ferrari, and what do you know about this? Torque Twister gets flipped over. Lamelt undoing the damage that 308 did. Torque Twister is alive. Here comes the new guy for Jetstreak, Cloud Cutter. Cloud Cutter cannot get under Lamelt and takes it like a jump, smashes into the crates but stays level. It looks like a plane and it flies like one too, makes a nice landing. Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger does a better job of hitting that fin of Lamelt, not going off of it and not flipping over upside down. Oldsmobile, still upside down up front. Greased Lightning. Greased Lightning tries to take out Cloak and Dagger, but Cloak and Dagger, a very nice recovery. That could have been disastrous, but Cloak and Dagger manages to settle down right side up over by the Chevy. Good landing. Lucky landing. And as is Jetstreak tradition, Jet Threat 3 coming down last. Ooh, Jet Threat 3 does not opt to try to take down Lamelt. Had a chance there to do it, but didn't want to take out Greased Lightning. There's always the possibility that could come back to haunt the team. You got to take down Lamelt when you can. 2 eliminations in that round and 2 teams. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Everybody's still at 1 over here. Glow to Hell at 2. Ultra Hawks and Silver Slivers both made a good run at it, but it wasn't enough. They are out of the competition. They will not be going to the finals. Round 5, Fusion Busta heading down. Running order is up, 7 teams left in this match. Looks like Lamelt is going down 4th. That's something to think about for a lot of these teams, although most of them have no choice. They only have 1 car to go down. Glow to Hell opting to send down the Bruiser first again. Ooh, and this time it pays off! Fusion Busta could not repeat the amazing recovery from the previous round, and this time lands on its side and just goes upside down, probably out of the round. Jetstreak can afford the loss, but they do not want to establish a trend. Pink Caddy. Pink Caddy tries to force out the Boulevard Bruiser, but the Bruiser stays on the track, goes up to the safety area. Not the same success as that Oldsmobile takedown last round. Here comes Lamelt. As we well know, Lamelt cannot get under that Caddy. It is well protected in the rear. Caddy's bumper proving an effective chastity belt for Lamelt. Here comes the 308. The the 308, an awkward hit on Lamelt's fin, and Lamelt gets trundled on the back of the Caddy. Starts to go off the track. This is bad news for Lamelt, not a great position. Good hit by the 308. Torque Twister has a chance to do some damage here. Torque Twister can't do the damage. Pushes Lamelt off to safety, and the Ferrari almost off to safety, although not out of the woods yet. Torque Twister's locked in. Speed box. You know, taking a look at the cars that remain in this match, you've got a lot of vehicles that have low centers of gravity. You've got Lamelt that basically is just all low center of gravity. And then you've got the pink Caddy, which is just a heavy car. It's got good defensive capabilities on the front and the back. And then you got Jetstreak, which is a lot of low slung cars, but I think their survivability is just the fact that those cars are also very stable. Right now, Speedbox not feeling so stable. Greased Lightning's gonna come down, and there's a chance that there could be trouble here. Oh yeah, a couple cars knocked out of the loop, and it looks like Speedbox is down for the count. Torque Twister manages to escape without damage, but They See Me Rolling might be in trouble here. Final car of the round, Jet Threat 3. A nice safe undercut. Jet Threat does it again, somehow getting under his teammate with no damage. No cars eliminated either. But we did lose a couple cars in this round as the field grows narrower and narrower, and we're going to lose one team this time. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Valiant effort by They See Me Rolling, but they couldn't quite cut it this time around. And Jetstreak finally loses another car, down to 3. Here we go, round 6. Jetstreak desperately trying to avoid the leader's curse, sending now Jet Threat 3 first this time. That's a big change up from what they have been doing, but obviously they couldn't send Fusion Buster down anymore. Boulevard Bruiser slots in nicely right behind Jet Threat. We got 2 cars lined up. Ferrari 308 gonna take a shot here for the cars. And what a shot it was by the Ferrari. Boulevard Bruiser gets tossed around and still somehow makes a recovery. That car's got some chops. Jet Threat 3 is definitely in a bad position right now. Here comes Lamelt. Pretty light tap there on the Ferrari from Lamelt, and the Ferrari skids along the edge. Looks like it's got a tire hooked on the edge of the track. That's kind of weird. I don't think we've seen that before. Not sure whether it's going to be a helpful thing or not. Here comes Pink Caddy. Pink Cadillac pushes into the line, causes some upheavals, but no eliminations yet in this round. Torque Twister. Torque Twister piles into the Caddy, but bounces off. Too strong, can't push it anywhere. Let's see if Cloud Cutter can get some action here. Cloud Cutter almost gets some action, but then can't quite pull it off. Torque Twister settling back in. Cloak and Dagger. And nobody's had enough force to push Torque Twister off the track. It bends, but it's not breaking. Already the final car of the round, Grease Lightning. And no dice, no eliminations on the round, so we are gonna go right into the next round, increase the speed. That should break the stalemate for these 9 remaining cars. Kind of wild that there's still 9 cars in the match and we're increasing the speed. Here we go, round 7. Jet Threat 3 starting us off again for the Jetstreak. A more turbulent removal of Evil Weevil from the track this time, and Jet Threat backs all the way down. Here comes Cloak and Dagger at an increased speed. Cloak and Dagger still can't do anything, actually gets bounced way back down the track. Jet Threat 3 forcing it into what could be a vulnerable position when the Pink Caddy comes on down. Pink Caddy says, enough of this nonsense, get up to the front of the track. And wow, that was a nasty little hit, but no cars knocked off the track somehow. And Lamelt's coming down now. Can Lamelt get under the Caddy, or is it still gonna be impervious? Nope, impervious, can't touch it. Jet Threat gets curbside though. This could be bad. Torque Twister's got a chance to take down one of the leaders. Torque Twister goes off the back of Lamelt, of course, goes into the crates, bounces all over the place, hits the fence, and stays upright after all that. Wow, great recovery. Sunrunner still in this match despite losing 4 in round 1. Ferrari hits Lamelt, takes the jump this time, and goes all the way over to the crates, bounces, nice landing. A little bit precarious, but for the moment, safe. Now Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning, oh man, did you see that hit on Lamelt? Flipping Lamelt over, fin first. Lamelt makes a quick roll and a good recovery, but Jetstreak now know that they have something that could take down Lamelt. Bruiser pounds into the pile. Greased Lightning rolls aside, manages to slip out of that one. Jet Threat 3 keeps threatening to go up and over, but hasn't yet. Cloud Cutter, gotta be careful here. Cloud Cutter hits the Bruiser, and Boulevard Bruiser cannot quite manage the recovery. I don't know what happened there. Boulevard Bruiser's been so good at managing this. Just a weird slide. And that is going to be the first elimination of the round on the last run. Glow to Hell going to lose a car. And as you can see from the aftermath, just one left for Glow to Hell, one left for every other team except Jetstreak. And so we head into round 8. Jetstreak starting us off. They are looking dynamite right now. They are avoiding that leader's curse quite successfully. But all these other teams are also avoiding getting eliminated on these runs. But they'll get eliminated eventually. Just a matter of time. Same trick as last time with Jet Threat and now Torque Twister. Ferrari's got a shot to do some damage to Torque Twister here. The 308 manhandles Torque Twister, pushing it all the way up the line, keeping him on the track. And now that Ferrari is curbside. Cloak and Dagger's got to take advantage of this opportunity. And, ooh, that was close. 308 flopping around a little bit. Looks a little unstable, but still somehow manages to pull it together just at the very end. And there's a bit of a mess on the track for Lamelt to clean up. Lamelt does just that. Pushes Cloak and Dagger up and over. Cloak and Dagger makes a great recovery. Torque Twister is definitely looking iffy right now. That is big trouble for the Sunrunners. Pink Cadillac. The Caddy pushes Lamelt under Jet Threat. Jet Threat pops up and makes a complete turnabout, lands it, and pushes Torque Twister down, saving Torque Twister from elimination. Jet Threat not out of the woods. Cloud Cutter gotta be careful here. Solid hit from Cutter. Jet Threat skids out of the way, potentially to safety. And now the final car of the round, Greased Lightning, has to be extra careful. What a hit by Greased Lightning, and what a recovery by Cloud Cutter. Just balances, looks like he's done, then rocks over on top of Jet Threat. Jet Threat pushes him off like, no, you're not gonna flip over upside down. We're not doing that. And no eliminations on that round, which means we are going to increase the speeds, maximum speed on this next round. Baby Cookie excited about the speed increase?
That's right.
Here comes round 9. We're gonna see some eliminations this time. Jet Threat starting off. Surprisingly controlled slide into place down at the end of the track. And the 308's coming down now. 308, nothing controlled about that one. Bounces off of Jet Threat, and finally, we're getting an elimination. Sad for the cars. There's still a chance that thing could get recovered if something weird happens, but it's unlikely. If the Ferrari stays down, that's going to be 5 teams remaining in this match, and any of these 5 teams could make it to the finals. I think Jet Threat's got the best chance right now. Pink Caddy. The Pink Caddy is deadly at this high speed, but man, Torque Twister does an admirable job of staying alive, bounces everywhere and all over the place, and yet still somehow keeps it together enough to survive. Sunrunner's going to the next round. Lamelt, a big hit. Lamelt kind of shudders there, goes up on its side a little bit, but manages to rein it in, stay on the track. What happens when Cloak and Dagger hits Lamelt at this high speed? Looks like not much. Cloak and Dagger just goes up in the air, manages also to keep it on the track. Cloud Cutter. Wow, that is a solid line for it to survive that hit from Cloud Cutter. You got some cars that do not want to leave the track. Greased Lightning. Greased Lightning hits his teammate, and Cloud Cutter somehow does it yet again. Same place, same kind of landing. Wow, they got to be happy with the new addition to their team. Jetstreak is looking very promising with that car. Incredible. That is the end of round 9. We are losing the cars, and that is the only team we're losing in this round. We've got a serious competition here, folks. We're heading into round 10. And I'm liking the quality of these competitors. Jet Threat starting us off again. This time doing the little bounce back. Next up is gonna be Lamelt. Oh, Lamelt flips Jet Threat upside down. Kind of a little spatula move there or something. Lamelt treating Jet Threat like a giant pancake, flipping it upside down. If Jet Threat stays like that, could be a big elimination here. Torque Twister. Oh no, Torque Twister causes the recovery of Jet Threat, but then can't recover itself. So much bouncing by Torque Twister, and it just takes a bad one, ends up upside down on its roof, almost certainly out of the match. Close call for Jet Threat, Pink Caddy. The Caddy slams into Lamelt with a vicious fury, and Lamelt barely survived that one. If not for Evil Weevil, I think Lamelt would have been straight out of this competition. Wow, talk about close calls. Ooh, big slam by Gloak and Dagger, but you can't do anything to that Pink Caddy, and Gloak and Dagger tips over sideways after that hit. We saw Gloak and Dagger do this once before, and it ended up being okay. Will it be this time with Cloud Cutter? Oh, the rookie sacrifices itself to take down Gloak and Dagger and glow to hell. That was a tough hit to make successfully, but Cloud Cutter did it. And we are down to 3 teams, so Cloud Cutter's sacrifice is gonna send Jet Threat to the finals. But it's not over yet. If Pink Push wants to move on, Pink Caddy's gotta take a hit from Grease Lightning. Ooh, almost nobody can get under the Pink Caddy, but at this speed, Grease Lightning is able to manage it, and the Caddy goes up, over, makes a recovery. Still can't take that thing down, but that didn't stop Grease Lightning from giving it a shot. And just like that, we've got our 3 teams that are moving on to the finals after that tumultuous round. Jetstreak ending this match with 2 cars remaining, Pink Push and Emerald, each with the 1. Congrats to our 3 finalists. Nice to see some old school teams moving on here. We've got our first 6 teams for the final. Who will the remaining 4 be? It'll all be decided in Heat 3 of the main event. Oh, it looks like the Klingons have discovered the new Chicken Rings, Onion Wings food cart. They're all over there waiting in line for some delicious chicken rings and onion wings. These Klingons are certainly an aggressive, unruly bunch. Looks like one of them is trying to break into the food cart, but I understand why they would want those chicken rings and onion wings. They are so good. And they can follow it up with some Junkyard Juice. I heard there's a new flavor of Junkyard Juice. It's just called Yellow. Curious what that tastes like. Thanks to Red Rocket Customs for making the Chicken Rings Onion Wings truck. Chicken Rings Onion Wings, of course, our top sponsor over at the Junkyard Joust Patreon. And now he's got his own food truck. I'm really loving this. In the race for Wildcard, Drive-Thru Demons are currently leading with 77 points. It's looking like we might have a 5-team runoff to determine that wildcard spot. Depends on whether the rules revisions that have been proposed go through. We'll see what happens. Thank you for all the great feedback regarding the rules for custom cars and future Junkyard Joust events. I'm going to consider all of them, and I've got some ideas on how to make it fair across the board. Thanks for being a part of this community, everybody. If you want to become more of a part of the community, please join the Junkyard Joust Discord. There's a lot of fun stuff going on over there. People are running their own Junkyard Joust. They're talking about diecast cars. They're talking about real cars. Link in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Joust.